All right, oh, shoot. Welcome, one and all, to I think this will be our final NBA show. Obviously, I really didn't want to have one because the team I was rooting for lost. But the guys say, I can't be like that. So, I decided to come on and just have a final show. Um, I want to say, before anybody, I want to say congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, winning the 2021-2022 NBA championship. Definitely, I didn't see it coming. I think they rounded into form, and I think they played great basketball when needed. But we'll get into it. With me, we have Vinny. I haven't seen this man when Boston was up 2-1. This man was
No, no,
hiding.
no, no,
This
just
man
like
was
you.
hiding.
My heart couldn't manage it. I not even going around the can.
And then we have Devin here with us, and we have Mr. Cream. All right, gentlemen. So we don't have all night, right? Because we have things to do. We don't have all night, but we really want to talk some basketball from an objective standpoint, right?
Mm.
No subjective reasoning today, not even from me. I just really want us to, for this final show. I think we'll have probably a couple more shows after the trade deadline, after the draft, to see what is coming up. But I really want us to dig in, and obviously we're going to start from the finals. So the finals just ended, and Warriors won 4-2. Steph Curry was named Finals MVP, rightly so. Um, Many persons thought Boston were the better team. Jason Tatum ended with 100 turnovers in the whole playoffs. Right. So, Vinny, I'm going to start with you because obviously it is your team, you and the producers team. So I'm going to start with you, right? How what is your feeling today about Golden State, seeing that obviously 6 finals in 8 years and now winning four championships? What do you think about the Golden State Warriors just as a complete dynasty? And what do you think about Steph Curry? Do you now insert him in the top 10 of all time that I've heard people saying? And I just want your thoughts on the finals as well.
Ah, as you say, really congrats to the Golden State Warriors. Cream was reminding me earlier that coming down to the end of the season when Curry was out, the team looked a little bit shaky and stuff like that. I had started to have a little bit of reservation because you would have known earlier in the season when they were playing and they were winning. I had said to you that the team could win the championship, but it would need Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. And Wiseman came back and then injured again, and then they had to sit him for the rest of the season. Clay had started to play, and you could see that. I mean, for missing almost a season and 3/4, even at the end of even in the final, he still was not. I would say 75% of the Clay of all. Do you understand? He did play some good enough defense in the finals. For Golden State, for me though, there are a couple of things that is two things is the most surprising things for me, and I believe that it contributed to them winning the NBA championship. The first one is Andrew Wiggins. Yes, he made the All Star team. Yes, we saw him playing well. But the Andrew Wiggins that played in the Western Conference final and the finals is an Andrew Wiggins that we have never seen before. We know that the potential was there, being a former number one pick, but he really stepped up to the fore to hold on that forward position. And you know that the league now is about all of these wings player. You understand? And he really came through in a huge way and contributed to them winning the championship. The second thing for me is rebound. Golden State is a small team. Against Denver, they out rebound them. Against Memphis, which is a big team, they out rebound them. Against the Boston Celtics in the finals, I think about 4 out of the 6 games, they out rebounded Boston, and that for me is, I can't even tell you why. Steph Curry got 11 rebound, 43 and 11. You understand? Wiggins gets 16 rebound. And I've always heard older players or players from the league talk about rebound being effort. being you want it more. So clearly the Golden State really wanted it more. They talk about the championship DNA. Trust me, they really played well. I am totally impressed with this championship more than probably any other. Of the four that they win. As a dynasty, we tend to look at dynasty, especially when you're three-peat or you're there. I do believe, though, that they are a dynasty because they are at a peak for a very long time, and it's only injury why they would not have won in 2019, and then injury caused them to be out 2020 and 2021. It's an interesting team, and I probably give some others some time to talk. I want to talk about Curry and his position, but let me hear the others talk, and then I don't know if you want to have a separate conversation like that. I want to provide you with some persons in terms of where they rank him, and then we could look at that.
Yo. Okay. So Cream.
Yeah.
I want so Cream. I know you picked Boston to win. I want to ask you. I think there was a stat that says obviously Golden State had 1,000,001 finals experience. Boston players had zero. There was no player on the Boston Celtics that had zero experience, and I was one of them who I rubbish that, and I was like, listen, they played against Milwaukee, Giannis. They played against Kevin Durant, Kyrie. They played against Miami. They play against tough teams. So I'm saying you're going against a finished Golden State, even if you've never been in the finals, you have a kind of, it's like you play the finals 3 times. That was my mentality. Like you play the finals 3 times, and now come in, once you execute the same way, you should be able to, pull it off. Do you, Cream, think that no finals appearance or no finals pedigree really and truly had Boston in the end?
No, I don't think it's the lack of experience in championship in the finals that caused them to lose in the series. As you said, their playoff run, they were battle tested, going up against some elite talent players and teams. So they got the necessary preparation, I believe, to face Golden State. It's just a matter of executing, and we saw them do it 2 times where they were able to get 2 games against Golden State, but they weren't able to replicate that for 2 more games, and that is where I am so disappointed, man. Because areas where they had the clear advantages, they didn't take advantage of it. They did it in those 2 games that they got the victory, but then they just didn't do it again. So I don't think it's a lack of experience. It's just the inability to carry out the game plan and execute and keep on making, like, you can't it's hard to win any basketball game at any level if you're gonna have 22 turnovers.
Yep.
It's hard to even win when you have 10. So imagine having 22 turnover at any level. It's just that's not experience. That's not a lack of experience. A lack of execution. A lack of will. The guys are
But,
just.
but Cream, what can also be said is nerves, right? Because I believe, like watching all 6 games, I've never once thought Golden State was nervous. Never once. Never once thought that they were nervous. Never once, even being down 2-1. What did Clay come out and say? Hey, this reminds me of 2015. This reminds me of 2015 with the Cavs. We were down 2-1 and we come back and we're winning 6. Right? And, a lot of persons were bashing Clay for what he said. And that's how it really come to pass, right? Draymond, they say, oh, Draymond must stop doing his podcast. Draymond say, hey, I'm going to still do my podcast every single day, and we are going to win the championship. See? So these guys were just confident that they were going to do it. Why? Because they have been there before. What did Jalen Brown come out and say? Oh, we don't fear the Golden State Warriors. And I said, hey, guess what? You don't have to fear them to lose. You can be brave all you want and just still lose, right? So I believe there were times where Boston could have slowed down the game a little bit, take down the tempo a little bit, and take Golden State out of their momentum. But Boston was trying to go toe for toe, Curry shoot a three, Tatum shoot a three. Curry shoot a three, Brown shoot a three. Curry shoot a three, Smart shoot a three. So it was just going back and forth, back and forth. And I think that if you have that, I think Golden State is really going to get the edge. But Devin, what I want to ask you is, so whenever you see a first-year head coach win the NBA championship, that is not Steve Kerr, right? If I can remember of recent history, right? So when Steve Kerr just came, in 2015, obviously he won that title. But that Golden State team was building from Mark Jackson. So Steve Kerr just really take that team and just polish them a little bit more. Because Mark Jackson, as Corey alluded to, as Clay alluded to, as Draymond alluded to, Mark Jackson has kind of given them the confidence. Because remember, Mark Jackson came out in 2013. I have the best shooting backcourt in the world. Everybody said this.
He said the best shooting backcourt ever. That's what he had said. But I think Kerr though, I think Kerr had coached at Suns. Did he coach at Phoenix? I know he was GM at Phoenix, but I think he coached as well.
No, he never coached.
No, it wasn't coach. It was just GM.
Yeah, it was just GM. Yeah, this was the first coaching job.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then I don't know if I pronounce his name, but the Boston coach, you can tell me how you pronounce it, crew.
Ime Udoka.
Yeah, Udoka, right? He's a first-year head coach. Swept KD, beat Milwaukee in 7, beat Miami in 7, and then come to the finals and lose in 6, right? So, do you think that he was out-coached in the finals? And I just want to get your overall thoughts, because I know you were going for Boston as well. So I want to get your overall thoughts. Or where did you think it went wrong for Boston?
All right. Number one, I'm going to start with the coaching. All right. So I think, I'm not too sure if he was out coach, but I think he didn't do enough to make the ball always be in the best player's hand. I'm not going to use a simple thing with you. You remember Mr. Brown, when coach for STGC basketball team? Or when Odie and Cranston used to them. We used to go there and watch them. Even when I left Georges and they used to come and play against this team from when I was knocked down in Manchester with the basketball. We used to come there. Me and Cranston used to link. One thing we used to always say, like, with the best player, he would say you have to be patient. So, like, a big man, whosoever is your best player, you can come out and set a screen and you'll be patient. The ball must come back to you. He said, I will make the ball come back to you. So sometimes Cranston will come out the paint, set a screen, and whosoever have the ball, instead the ball will come back to you because you are the guy who the play will go towards. And whosoever have the ball handlers, you must say, don't try force it. Like what sometimes Boston I try make some pass and so like some easy interception. But the ball will go back to the best player. So I don't see whereby a design play whereby the ball must go back to Tatum. The ball must go back to Tatum. It doesn't matter how poor his shooting is or how he's being guarded. The ball must go back to him and he must empower him. Say, guess what, boss? Continue shooting. So that is one thing that I see where I don't think it was being done enough or enough play was designed for it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that can be constituted as out coaching, but that's what I evident. Overall, you started off by saying, we have to be subjective. So I was on a subjective thing where I'm just tired of the Golden State. I just never want to win. and I did this in mind, being a Lakers fan, because I recently this girl on another page named Chrissy Sparks was saying, I don't understand how you're cheering for Boston and you want Boston to win, because me and I used to go back and forth and saying, all right, Celtics have 17 titles and you're a Lakers fan and have 17. So why are you cheering for Boston? We're gonna have 18 and you're still gonna be at 17. That's how much I ever want Golden State. so me just want them to win is just, like to laugh off of the producer. But looking at it too, it can't emphasize enough. From earlier, I was saying to be like, they need a ball under where somebody, like, it may not be a CP3, eliminate some of those turnovers, man. Overall, the turnovers was awful, brother. Awful.
But Devin, even though you said the coach didn't put the ball in the best player, and I believe the best players also didn't help themselves, because I remember game 4 where Curry, we're in the fourth quarter. when the game got tight, and I think for about I think it was about the 6 or the 7 minute mark, right? And I think Curry went down, and they were, I think Boston was like 1 point ahead, and the game was a little bit tight. And then Curry went down and he scored, and the ball, they came up the floor with the ball, and Brown. Brown had the ball, and he drove down into the middle and he lost it. Yeah, and that's turnover.
That's a
And
lot.
they got a fast break, but Curry run to the way named the instead of driving down to get the layup. And then what happened is that they Golden State turn it over. Brown come up back again and drive down in the middle and turn it over again. So it's like
Yep.
back to back turnover right when the game tight. You understand? And then as Kem said earlier, we're not too sure what happened to Jason Tatum. It's almost like he was afraid to shoot the basketball.
The
This is a
moment,
man that outplayed Kevin Durant, went toe to toe with Giannis, and you come and you were afraid to shoot.
this
Yeah,
this is it. This is it, Vinny. And you made a good point because Jalen is that hard-headed student where you tell him to do the right thing over and over and then consistently do the wrong thing. Every game, the man have at least 2 turnovers that same way where you just mentioned. Him see 2 defenders, he might try split them and
Yeah.
somebody just push them hand, steal the
Another
ball,
take for the ball from him.
Golden State get a fast break. And listen, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what kind of training them have over Golden State, but these men don't get tired. These men don't get. Listen, Curry can run around for as long as Clay can run around. Like, listen, I just don't know what kind of training. But Vinny, you mentioned a point, and I want to talk about it. Even though we have said that Clay is not 100%, Clay is not back, Clay is not this and that. There's a few things about Clay. Number one being Clay's average. What Clay averaged this series is what Clay has averaged in his career over the finals.
Wow.
19 points.
18 points.
I
Give you a
think
good
almost, I
defense.
think almost three assists and 5 rebounds and like 40 something percent, 30 something percent from three. The same identical numbers.
Okay.
But again, I believe that obviously when somebody come back from injury, especially how long Clay was removed. I remember the last time we see Clay, he was lighting up Toronto.
2019. Yeah, man.
He was
If,
lighting
listen,
up.
even with Kevin Durant going down, if Clay was still there, Toronto would have had a hard time winning that series. You understand? A hard time winning that series.
And again, in this new NBA, we have to account for shooters. So no matter if Clay can't drive to the basket, trust me, he can shoot. Yep. So you have to go pick your poison.
Right. Mr. Host, hear what, Mr. Host? Give me a second. I'm going to share a clipping just on what you just mentioned.
Okay. Okay, I'm clipping this, boss.
All we do is shoot 3 and win championships.
No, but I heard a commentator talking about defenders and Klay Thompson. Him say you have 2 type of defender in the league. Him say you have those defender like a Gary Payton who very athletic and they are very good. Him say they are up in your face defender and they gamble. And more time when them gamble, they will have an error, but because they are that athletic, they tend to get back. You understand? And him say you have those type of defenders that are fairly good because they are able to recover because they take gamble and they're athletic. And then him say you have the Klay Thompson type of defender who are not athletic. But what he does is he gives you space. And what he does is read your center of gravity. And wherever you move, he beats you to the spot. So he's always beat. You understand? So he's not as athletic, but just how he plays and read the game, you're hard to get by him because he's always reading where you're going and stuff like that. So with a player like Clay, even though he just come back, that type of playing defense helps him. You understand? Don't have to be 100, but he's reading the game and what the next player is trying to do.
Absolutely. All right. So Cream, I'm going to start with you, right? So we're going to talk about a lot of persons are saying no, Curry with another title. Man, listen, I don't know how these people get millions of dollars to talk all kind of rubbish on TV. And I'm not saying I'm not saying them saying he's top 10 or whatever is rubbish, but I'm saying they're saying, oh, he needed a finals MVP to solidify. Like the man is great. What if he didn't win a finals MVP, that take away nothing from him. The man is great, right? But Cream, I want you to tell me, do you think this title, this finals MVP, this playoff run, do you think this has put Steph Curry in the top 10 players of all time?
No, I don't think it has done so. Because
Why?
if you look at who is, because you're looking at what you're looking at is the player, the actual player, and the legacy. They call it now the accomplishments, the accomplishments. So that's why they were big on the finals MVP,
Okay.
being missing from him. So
Can
he has that
can I
now. So, sure.
let me give you some wait, let me give you some cream as you talk, and then you can just talk with these persons around it. So Chris Broussard, right? One of the person I rate the most in the NBA as an analyst. And this is his top 10 in terms of clear. He have Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Duncan, Kobe, Bird, Curry, Shaq, Russell. So he left Will Chamberlain out of his top 10, right? Which
Yeah.
I found to be very interesting. Let me give you a next one. I think it was Reggie Miller. And we all know Reggie Miller, who does giving some rating as an analyst. Let me give you his top 10. So they are,
Yeah.
and this is what Kems is saying. These
Give Reggie
analysts,
Miller ratings as analyst or as commentator, which is
not a commentator, an analyst. Him not think him
Commentator slash
commentator,
analyst.
slash analyst, right? So he had Magic, Michael, Curry, and he said in no particular order: Bill Russell, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Tim, Shaquille, Larry Bird. Left out Will as well. So you notice a trend taking place now.
What did
Max
that say,
Kellerman.
Will?
Right,
What did that say, Will?
Max Kellerman says, and
Yeah.
his top 5 that he says is cemented at the moment until
Yeah.
something move them. He has Michael 1, LeBron 2, Kareem 3, Bill Russell 4, and Will Chamberlain 5. Then he says his next 5, not in any particular order, is Magic, Bird, Kobe, Duncan, and Shaq. He says Steph Curry is just outside there. And he's saying that probably over the next 2 years, dependent on how the achievement of Curry, the only person he probably would have moved is a Tim Duncan. So with that backdrop, I mean, I listen to what you think. I'm interested to hear you and Devin and Kems with those players and in those analysts and what you think about this whole Curry debate and top 10.
Yeah, I think right now I am more inclined with what Max has there.
Okay.
I currently have Curry anywhere between 11 and 13. So 11, 12. Like he's just outside the top 10 right now. So but I can't see how these guys are also willingly to dash your will.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to me that they just like he was nothing. This man was so dominant and ridiculous on both ends.
Yeah.
So for me, I can't really put in Curry right at this minute. As Max said, maybe in the next 2 years, I'm not really sure what he wins another championship. But who would I? It's so hard. Like who are you gonna take out to put in Curry?
Exactly.
I would really have to sit down and look at it. I just can't really off the top of my head now just say I'm gonna remove that guy and put in Curry. I'd have to look at it again. Good.
Listen. And I'm going to let Devin go after me, so I'll go read it again. When I'm looking at best player, right? Best player of all time, I have to look at the totality. Your offense alone can't do it. So I have to look at the offense and your defense. And you can't tell me, say, okay, you're a great shooter, so that automatically insert it in the top 10. Absolutely
But
not.
think about this, as I said, Kems. Magic Johnson was never a great defender,
Yeah.
It's really in
Okay.
offense and in impact on the game that everybody rate him that high. One of the
Absolutely.
best name that we have ever seen. So
Absolutely.
I understand what you're saying, but think about that as well.
All right. So no. So I'm saying that, right? So then no, let us look at Steph Curry resume championship wise. All right. 2015, Steph Curry played against Matty Dellavedova. That was his competition. All right. Them win that ring. Okay, no problem. 2016 now, he went up against the Cavs. He was up 3-1 in the finals. Right? Game 5, 6, and 7, he was bad. Not only game 5, not only game 6. Remember, there was a spurt, a 5-minute spurt where nobody couldn't score. Steph couldn't score. Obviously, Cleveland couldn't score. But at the end of the day, Cleveland end up winning. So it's going to look bad on you, right?
LeBron had a big block.
Yeah. So that's 2016 now, right? Okay. After you lose in 2016 now, you went ahead and you recruited Kevin Durant. Now this team is now virtually unbeaten. Like,
and to add to that, Kems, those 2 years, Steph literally took the passenger seat and said, "Kevin, you go, you lead us, you bring us home,
exactly."
you bring us home." Yeah.
And
not,
again,
not true, but I'll
no, Vinny, it is true, right?
It is true. You went passenger seat and said,
the reason why I would say not true, even though I don't want to interrupt you. Remember in 2018, before they get to the finals, Kevin Durant was out for the last 2 games against Rocket and the entire series against Portland, and Steph Curry carried the team right to the finals.
But that's
in the finals, the game 3 in the finals,
that's Portland.
The game 3 in the finals is where Kevin Durant really stepped up and carried them across.
All right,
and that I would say.
All right, so I'm saying now, right? When KD come, clearly Kevin Durant was the best player on the team. That is no doubt. Clearly he was the best player. And again, this is where I have a problem with the media now, because I promise you, if it was LeBron James and LeBron James take a backseat to anybody else, he would have been scrutinized for it. Steph Curry is praised for things like this. Oh, he's so selfless. Oh God. Oh, we love this leader. If it's LeBron, oh, he's so passive. He's so soft. How can we compare him to Jordan? Like that's a different standard, right? So then now, let us move forward. After that, now, obviously 2019, Clay got hurt, KD got hurt, but Steph was still bad in that series. Right? But people forget that. Why? Because they love Steph Curry. So these things get brushed under the rug. Listen, people are still talking about the Dallas series with LeBron James. 11 years later, we still talk about it. Some still talk about 2007 versus Tim Duncan. They still talk about it.
That's true.
These things are Steph Curry. You brush them under the rug. Very simple, right?
Steph is the media darling. Like he is beloved. He's beloved.
No, for this finals, I'll give it to him. When I'll give it to him, especially, obviously, he had some bad 4 quarters. Okay, no problem. It happens. Where I'll really give it to him was game 4. Game 4, where you say, hey, if you lose this 3-1, this is basically done. Steph Curry lift that team, put that team on his back, 43 points, 11 rebounds, etc., right?
Yeah.
So now, with that being said, I have to give him some credence, but I can't give him top 10. Not yet, right?
Not yet.
And he doesn't need to win another finals for me. He doesn't need to win the finals MVP for me. But I'm looking at the body of work, right? The body of work. How are you going to? Because listen, next year, is going to be very tough. Here comes the Clippers. Kawhi, Paul George, Norman Powell, all those boys over there already. I just see Dallas made a trade for Christian Wood now to come in. That is big. I
remember Murray coming back for Denver.
Yes, Memphis coming back now.
Zion,
healthy.
New Orleans, the Pelicans are going to get better too.
The Pelicans as well. Zion coming back. Obviously, once you have LeBron and AD healthy, we have to mention them in the conversation as well. Whether they're going to do something or not, we have to mention them. So listen, it's going to be, and I know that health is one of the most important things going forward, right? Because if you're not available, then it sucks, right?
Yeah.
You give me that quote in Kems. The best ability is availability.
Yes, buddy.
Always remember it. You give.
So with that being said, I can't give him top 10 just yet. And then when I look at it, I just don't think Steph is better than KD. I just don't think it. Like I just can't put Steph over KD.
Steph has a better resume than KD.
Better resume for sure.
Playing basketball
Yeah,
You
I just
cannot
don't think
say
he's better than
on
KD.
the court between those four lines. I don't know. I can't see. I can't
Yeah,
see.
I can't put so in any ranking. I'm not
Yeah.
comfortable saying Steph Curry here and KD here, especially
But
when I
I will
look
say,
on
he's not a
those
better
three.
basketball player, but I believe that he has greater impact.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But then what I
Yeah.
will say lastly, it looks very bad on KD today. It looks very bad. The Celtics swept
Yeah.
you. The Celtics swept you. You left Golden State. You go to Brooklyn, and now Golden State won a championship. So the one before you, the one after you, right? And I'm
Yeah.
saying, obviously, we know it's two different oppositions, right? It's two different oppositions. You play against the Cavs without Kyrie, Kevin Love. You play against Boston, young Boston. But whatever, you left the team, and the same Boston team sweep you, right? It looked bad. It looked bad. It looked bad
It
against a player.
does.
But
The optics.
I
The
can't put Steph.
optics.
I
The
can't
Yeah.
put
optics.
Steph there. I can't put Steph there just yet. I'll give him the best
So,
shooter of all time.
so Kems, where would you have him? Which number would you have him?
I'm putting Steph right now top 15. I'll give him top 15
All
right
right.
now.
So as you
But
mentioned that Kebs, right?
Mhm.
So Vinny give some different you call him analysts top 5 and
Mhm.
top 10.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm gonna give you this is what because I had this ESPN have him at 13. So the two major ratings what you call it, entity or sporting body who people talk about was the Athletic top 75 and ESPN 75. So ESPN had Curry at 13. The Athletic had him at 15.
that was before this
Yeah,
finals, right?
before this. So looking at it now, and I was reading the Athletic, and I never look into the ESPN one fully, but like the different contributors were saying what are some of the reasons why they put certain players ahead of others, and one of those are that Cream talk about is just like irrespective of the achievements and what they do and the scoring titles and whatever. One factor is player X a better basketball player than the other? You know what I mean? And because they have like the achievements, the MVP and all those things separate. So just like you mentioned, when you look at Steph and Kevin Durant, because it's a holistic thing that I gather to give you the whatever point system. Would you say Steph is a better player than KD? Would you say Steph is a better player than some of the other players in the top 10? Right? So for me though, like you can't ignore those achievements. And in all of it, most of the time when I was reading, they looked at the top two, and people were always debating about the top two. And at least 4 people they were saying, "Oh, but with Bronze and his achievements, you could say he was forced. He like forced to go with Wade and whatever." So and some people bring him down to give MJ the number one status. They mentioned that. So I'm saying, no, wait. Just like you're saying, Kips, come like you're reading these. Well, I know you didn't read these things, but like you're forced to see what these people are saying. So why the argument is not used against Steph thing? All we're hearing about Steph is this. So we write it down. 5th player to if he wins this MVP finals title, it's gonna be the 5th player to win multiple NBA chips, MVP, scoring title, and now finals MVP. But I don't hear anybody saying, okay, he was the main person to fly out these people to the Hamptons. That rich
Yeah.
was the
So that's the thing,
like
Devin. That's the thing.
he was the main instigator, He wasn't German. He was the one,
Yep.
fly him over there to the Hamptons, that talking the Hamptons,
Yep.
He was the main driver of everything.
But this is what.
But that is not used. That is not used, Cream, to say, okay, in his MVP situation, even though the team was good, but in his title thing,
But it cannot be used. It cannot be used, Devin.
Had 2 with KD.
No, you can't. No, you can't say it can't be used.
No, all right. So let me
No,
start.
but
where
people use it
Devin
against KD. If you say KD,
No, but here why I'm saying it cannot be used against Steph. Steph 2 MVP is before KD.
Okay.
Right?
No, not about MVP.
The only achievement that he has with KD is winning 2 finals. In fact, the argument can be Which is big, but the argument could also be made that because KD was on the team, it would, because remember, I know the man was back-to-back MVP. The man was the MVP, the only player that was what you call that? Unanimous MVP in 2016. You understand? So he would have had to step back his game, just like with when you have superstar, in order for KD over those 3 years. If KD wasn't there, how much more his individual statistics would have been? You understand? So I agree. I will accept that for the rings, KD was instrumental.
No,
with
but
those 2 rings.
but Vinny, pre-this. If Steph had 2 rings instead of 4, where you think them? Where you think anybody would have talked about Steph in the top 10 right now if he has 2 rings instead of 4?
I don't believe so, because even for me, I don't have Steph in the top 10 at the moment. In fact, one of the best versions of Steph to me is Steph this year. He has put on some weight. You can see him being in fact, I'm not even going to say a little bit. He's a lot better defender, even though I'm still not a great defender, a lot. And if you watch the series, even when Tatum is switch on to him, Brown is switch on to him, you can see him a try, you understand? Him not make nobody just push him down again, and he has put on the weight, and it has also helped him even as he plays throughout the game and coming to the end of the game. So clearly, it is a better, to me, this is a better version of Stephen Curry than that little thin version in 2015 and 2016 and 2017. So for me, I would want to see some more of his body at work over the next 2 years before I can say Steph Curry is a top 10 player. I cannot take Will out of it. I don't care what people want to say, oh, Will never play with nobody. I always says each player has to play with their contemporaries. You understand? You can't ask Will to play with 2022 players now. That wasn't when he was born. Because some of these 2022 players probably couldn't play back in Will days. And that's why I've always maintained that. What he did then, he was the only... If it was so easy to be done, how is it that he's the only one that did it? Yep. So you have to take it for what it is. I can't just take Will out of it.
Yeah,
Will put up some absolutely mind-boggling numbers.
Yeah, the man averaged 50 and 24. 50 points, 24 rebounds per season.
Brother, that is ridiculous.
Not even if you are playing against primary school
if you say to me that he averaged 50 and then you had another player averaging 45 and one, the man averaged 50 and the next thing was 20 something. So don't tell me that, he wasn't playing against nobody. So nobody else was doing it. So it says something about what he was doing.
Yep, totally agree. But Devin, in closing off with this part, I think Devin made an excellent point. Listen, I'm not going to say Steph wouldn't be great without KD because we have seen him be great without KD. But I believe, after losing 2016, I think they'd lose 2017 and 2018 as well without KD.
At least 2017.
I don't even think they'll make the finals. Because
they probably would have. They would have lost 2017 for sure. And I think probably if they didn't have KD and Cleveland win 2017, Kyrie probably would not have left by 2018. Yeah. Probably would.
And like that last comment said, KD equally benefited from being on the Warriors and playing with Steph.
Yeah, so, of course. Absolutely. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is I just want to do a recap of the regular season, right? Because when we look at the regular season, and I'll start with you, Devin, because when we look at the regular season, honestly, when it started, there was no clear-cut winner in the East. There was no clear-cut winner in the West. We say, okay, this team can win, or the Miami Heat can win, the Milwaukee Bucks. When we look over the West, that's okay. The Clippers, where I say, probably the Lakers, them get Westbrook, or probably the Lakers, or Golden State, Clay coming back, probably them, right? But there was no really clear-cut favorite. So, David, I want you to tell me 2 things. So, tell me a recap of the regular season and tell me what you're looking forward to most for next season.
My recap for the regular season, I can't start without talking about Lakers, So, trust me, I can't start without talking about Lakers. They were one of the biggest disappointment because when I look at it, at least the playoffs, ask anybody else, like, before we start, people were questioning how Russell was work with do. Yeah. The questions with Brown and the ball handling and all the thing that comes with it, and him not being a shooter and all of that. But I could not foresee that. Just stand out. I could not foresee them not making
this bad. Absolutely.
right. Not even with injuries. Not even the plane. We didn't even make the plane.
Yep.
So that's what they stand out for me in the West. Unlike the injuries, the injuries didn't really let us see like how great the West, could have been, how great the competition could have been. Because Paul George came back late, Kawhi was out, and then, Porter Jr. was out for a while, Murray was out for a while, and Clay came back late. So I would want really going forward to next year, part of that, everybody being healthy. I know it's basically it's virtually impossible to have everybody, all the best players on the team being healthy. At some point, the injury bug gonna come. But in the East now, that injury to, with the vaccination status and all of that, and injury to KD, I didn't foresee Brooklyn slumping that far and having that difficult chance of coming out. So, and Celtics was a surprise because originally the way they started out, I never really have them making it into the playoffs the way they started out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. My initial list. I'm not gonna come and say, "Oh yeah, I had them in there." I never had them in, so I'll take my head for that. They surprised me and get there, and then I jump on the wagon and they fail me. But finally, going forward, I want to focus on this Golden State. Just Golden State. Looking forward. We always as betting man, I look at what the bookie start them as a favorite for next year. Yeah, they are the favorite for next year. Boston is next, and guess who is the third favorite?
Who, Lakers?
Brooklyn. Oh, which Lakers?
Lakers.
Lakers, yeah. And then when I look at it, the only person they basically they said team, and the great Wiseman came, so everybody talk about when Wiseman come back. You'll be back next year.
No, but Golden State has some decisions to make for the rest.
I look at it,
huge decisions.
Coming up,
no man, them have huge decisions, man.
Wiggins, Poole.
No, they said all right. They said they have a 173.6 million salary, and the free agent issue is Looney and Payton.
Looney and Poole. Looney, Poole, and Wiggins.
No,
Wiggins.
Wiggins not a free agent.
No, Poole is not a free agent, but Wiggins and Poole are last year of them contract.
Rookie. Poole is on his rookie contract, so them either extend him or have to move him.
So but
remember, if Poole play out this,
Wiggins and Poole could play out this year,
If Poole play out this year, wouldn't he be an
unrestricted free agent? Just like Wiggins.
Wouldn't he be restricted?
He would be a restricted free agent.
Yeah, so
Wiggins would be unrestricted.
So Golden State could match any offer from any other team.
Right.
Yeah, so I think
Wiggins would be unrestricted.
Yeah, but I think they said they're going to start the negotiations. Listen, Otto Porter say he wants to be back. He can get the exception.
Minimum,
the exception. He can get that. Listen, Looney, I've seen Golden State win championship with Andrew Bogut.
No, Kims, they need Looney. Kims, all right.
No,
but Kims,
hold on a minute. The man win with Andrew Bogut.
True.
Zaza Pachulia.
It's true.
So, if they lose Looney, I think they'll be all right.
Wiseman can say.
Remember, you were the one who said earlier, you look at all of the teams that are there. You understand? If they didn't have Looney, they wouldn't get past Memphis. They wouldn't.
Remember, Joe was
right
hurt,
now, you see Devin laughing. You see Devin laughing because we really don't know what Wiseman is going to be. We really don't. You understand? So Golden State will have to pay Looney.
Want to see him develop.
No, we don't. Listen, no, we don't.
There are teams that already showing interest in Looney,
Yeah. I think the Kings want him. Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, yeah.
Looney with him.
You understand? So Golden State, I think they should pay him.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy, Vincent. Listen, you're crazy. Pay with what kind of Looney?
Oh God, Kims.
No, but Vinny, hold on.
Just 1 second. Sometimes the payment for a player is the word to the team. You understand what I say? And what I'm saying, Golden State dodge a bullet. Even though I believe that they probably would have still come through, but it would have been tougher. You see, if we get Suns, and as much as Aiton, whatever the thing, Aiton seemed to play good against Golden State because we really not have no big player with him. I mean, the greatest disappointment for the season is the Suns to me because I know me can't conceptualize how they melt away against Dallas. I know me can't see it. You understand?
Luka.
But what I'm saying is that who are the big? Which big them are gonna use?
Listen, and what I'm saying, Vinny,
Can they pay Looney and keep everybody, Poole and Wiggins, sir?
no, they
And
can't.
pay
They
them
can't.
extra?
So you have to give up something to get something. And I'm sure Golden State will be happy letting go Looney and still keep Poole and Wiggins. They can't get another big man that can grab rebounds. They can.
Why, bro? Me no know.
Listen,
Looney was big, bro. Looney
He
was
was.
big.
Hold on, man. Vinny, where you talk about Vinny? Brother, if Looney want cut, brother, let the man go on.
You mean?
But we not have no big.
the
We
man
don't have no
act
big.
like
Yo,
Looney has
the
stepped
West,
to
no,
backside.
Lebanon, the West full of bigs, you know. Yo, listen me. Anyhow, Denver did have just one other player. Golden State is a problem.
But again, Vinny, and I listening to Vinny, the man them tell us say even if the man ain't get with the loan, then they can go get a next big.
Yeah,
Who
does that,
Looney is
brother?
not. Hey, Looney is not. What you call him? It's not Wilt, you know. We are talking
Come
about.
on.
Where me know? We know.
Vinny,
That man like
Drummond is
a
there.
Alright.
enough Whiteside. How long Whiteside on a contract? You can't
Ah,
get
Wise man.
Whiteside.
Drummond is there too.
Drummond,
Yeah,
you
idiot,
cannot
keep him.
bluff me. You cannot bluff this, man.
You can't keep
Alright.
him.
can't grab rebound.
But
so-
for me, for the season, Kems, I start with Devin. The injuries did impact this season. Impact the Bucks. Impact LA Clippers. Impact Denver. So injury was a big thing. And like Devin, I'd really love to see a season where with no injury a part of the game, but we hope we can see a season where most of the teams have the player and let us really
Especially the star players.
especially the star players. You
For
understand?
the playoffs. For the playoffs.
Up right for the playoff.
Especially.
Suns is my disappointment. I am still in shock that Suns lost that series against Dallas. You understand? Looking forward to next year. Dallas is something that may I look at because I believe that's a good pickup. Boston, like Devin said, was a surprise, and I think we saw them about the last third after the All-Star. We started saying, "No man, this Boston team, I look like them onto something." You understand? Which they were on. So that was something. The other disappointment would have been Kyrie, and I don't even want to talk about Kyrie and this because I might just go off totally. That is a selfish dude, and I believe that he costs the Nets. And especially when I was listening to an analyst talking about Wiggins and the fact that he didn't want to take the vaccine when he got to Golden State, the PM said, "Listen, we are trying to win a championship." And he said, "You know something? Personally, I don't think, but as a fair team, for the betterment of the team, I just have to take it so the team can succeed." You understand? And to think that Kyrie Irving is the reason why Kevin Durant is in the New Jersey Nets, and he went and they go ahead and they get James Brooklyn, I mean, and then they go ahead and they get Harden at the time. Come on, man. I believe that dude is the most selfish player in the NBA. And I don't want people to tell me about him personal choice and this. We saw him miss game when they were having rioting. What riot have to do with Kyrie? Oh God, man. So that it's just a disappointment.
Leave Brooklyn Nets to me, okay? Leave Brooklyn Nets to me.
Disappointment, right? But I mean, we're looking forward to this season. I really hope that, coming season we're not see as much injury. And we can really see some teams and see what they'll do.
All right.
You better, you're glad say live up here because you have some whole anti-vaxxer was outside of the thing there.
All right, Cream.
Yeah.
Tell me your most memorable moment of the regular season, your most disappointing moment or team of the regular season, and when you look forward to next season.
Most memorable moment. Wow.
Toronto making the playoffs.
Maybe, but disappointing is definitely how the Brooklyn Nets season unfolded and ended. So that's the most disappointing for me. But looking forward to the next season, and I'm just looking forward to everybody being back. You know, all those players that were out injured. Just looking to everybody coming back and seeing what all these teams look like, at least even early, what these teams look like, fully strengthened, everybody available. So looking forward to seeing that.
All right. So for me, obviously, this season, I was hoping that the Lakers could have stayed healthy. LeBron missed games, AD missed games, Westbrook didn't work out. I think the coach was an idiot. So that was that. But hey, I think as I mentioned earlier, I think next season, there's a lot for us to look forward to. We saw CJ McCollum get traded to the Pelicans, gave them a spark. Now Zion coming back. Brandon Ingram, I think he really had a breakout year. Now everybody's coming together with Zion being there. I think the Pelicans is one to watch. Obviously, a better Clay. Fresh off our championship, more season, more fresh. I think that would be good. Obviously, I spoke about Denver and so, but one thing I think the Lakers hiring of Darvin Ham. I want to see what that's going to be about, right? Because listen, I say it. I thought Frank Vogel was just trying to be LeBron and Anthony Davis' friend. Oh, I don't want to step on their toes because they really control my destiny. I want to be cool with them. Hey LeBron, what you think? You are the damn coach. F what LeBron think. Sometimes you have to make him know. So this is what I think. I am the coach of the team. This is how it's going to be. I think Frank Vogel, he had more strength for Russell Westbrook than he had for LeBron James or Anthony Davis. So I think Darvin Ham, obviously, a black man, being in the league, I think players tend to respect people that been in the league, been through it, know the grind. And with Rashid Wallace, also as well being the assistant to Darvin Ham. Them man, they no nonsense, no nonsense.
Man, the head no good.
Yes, so I think that and I think that Rashid can also help Anthony Davis with the mindset, with the mentality part, toughen up his mentality.
Toughening him up, yeah.
Because hey, listen, with a healthy AD, the sky is the limit. We know what can happen. And then I think that the pieces that they're going to get, whether they're going to have Russell Westbrook, yes or no. I hear them say that they want Bradley Beal. So I'm really looking forward to what the Lakers have. Because listen, even though we think these superstars don't listen to all these media outlets, they listen to them. So LeBron is here and people are saying, oh, Curry have 4 rings and you have 4 rings. I'm sure LeBron want one more. LeBron want one more. Okay, as much as they see LeBron a cheer for Curry and all of them things, everybody has their own individual thing, what they want to accomplish.
Did you hear what? Did you hear what Clay say about Jaron Jackson?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yo, the man
Memphis. Yo, listen, Memphis. I am looking forward to that next year.
The man then relapse all I receive them. All of the receipts the man then relapse.
Yo, Clay, no, that was also I didn't even know Clay was that outspoken like that.
Yeah, man.
Clay do it after every finals where him win. After
Yeah,
every
man.
finals where him win, him talk about somebody.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The man say you bum, you clown.
So,
And just and then Ja responded and said, "We live in rent free in these guys' head."
yeah.
So
Yeah, listen. I think if Ja Morant was healthy, he would have probably got 7 games, and then
Yes, he probably would have.
at the 7th game, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Anything goes, right? But with the last thing, right? And this is just obviously an early prediction. Obviously, will change during the season. But I just because Stephen A. came out and said the Golden State Warriors winning it again next year, right?
Yeah.
So, I just want to know, while we sign off on it, I just want to know who do you guys believe, will win?
Wait, before we answer Kems, are you a Lakers fan or a Philly fan? Because
No.
you took so much time, I don't know.
Well, starting the new season, I'm a LeBron fan. We'll see how the season goes.
All right, Kims. One thing I hope though, Kims, don't make any prediction because you suck at prediction, bro. So don't.
All right. That's all right. That's all right. We have to suck at. We have to suck at something. Some suck at other things. We have to suck at something. All right. So, all right. So I'll start with you, Vinny, because Vinny,
Well,
you are the man of the moment. Who
well,
you have
well,
winning
for me,
next year?
without a doubt, I'm going to go with Golden State. I do believe we have some interesting players to develop. And one of them is Wiseman, and the other one, I think we have seen glimpses of him. And if he develop like how Poole developed, then the league is going to be in serious problem, and that is Kuminga. You understand? Can you imagine if Kuminga really develop well, and you have a Kuminga and a Wiggins, if Wiggins continue on this path, I run both wings at times with Clay and Curry. Yeah, the league going to have. The league going to have. So we see, and for me, I like when we develop wings, because the league is big on wings. When you think about Clippers and you have Paul George and those players on either side, and when you think about the others and stuff like that. So for Golden State to develop those wings, it's gonna be great. And we want to see that. So I am backing them this year as well to come through again with another championship. I am. You understand? Coming out of the East, I probably believe I am going to at this moment. I have the finals for the East between with Bucks and Nets. Those two I'm having going to the finals. And I said the Nets.
Finals?
Yeah, going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I said the Nets because I am against my better judgment. I am going to give what your head player name?
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. I am going out on a limb. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If Ben Simmons play even like how we did at the early stage in Philadelphia, the Nets are going to be a tough team.
Okay.
I do believe that.
All right, so you have Golden State versus one of these teams and Golden State winning it.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, well, this is early prediction, and listen, not because we make a prediction in June, meaning that when next June come, we're not going to use the same prediction and beat people. Like, come on now, people.
Yeah.
We just say what we feel right now. Anything can change from now until then. All right, Devin, who do you think is winning the title next season?
Brooklyn
And what?
Not even Brooklyn. Because all right, one of the key thing though is seeding. The seeding plays a lot sometimes, right? During the regular, not sometimes, plays a lot in the regular season. So with Ben Simmons there, he's doing another street clothes. Kyrie will be there. No vaccination thing will be running around now. So we'll have more wins in the regular season, so they can determine, have a better seeding and see how it will pan out. And still KD is there, so I'm expecting Brooklyn to come out of the East. Even though we still have Nash as a coach, which is not a good coach, but I'm thinking with that 1 year experience, he would have probably developed something. I don't know how much he would have.
2 years now.
2 years now. I don't know what. In being a better coach. And, Kyrie said that then can be the coach sometime. Also can be the coach. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But I'm just thinking with the players being fit for most of the regular season, and we have a better position going to the playoffs. Yeah, man, we're going to do something. And in the West, but I as much as those teams getting better and everything, I don't see anybody beating Golden State over there, brother.
So Devin, Roger asking if Lakers and Brooklyn in the finals, who you taking?
Lakers. That's a tough choice. I'm gonna go with Lakers.
All right.
Devin and Kems, wouldn't you give up LeBron James making the final just to see Golden State and Brooklyn Nets playing that final?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Man, that would be a fight. That is a finals I want to see.
If that was the final, I think Brooklyn would win though.
You think so?
Yeah,
Steph Curry.
just want to see them when them play each other. Good enough for me. The two
Yeah, that's good enough for me. I don't want to see them in the final.
yeah. The two time.
That's like I gotta either make KD have 3 and Curry have 5, you know? All right, Cream, talk to me.
Yeah, I don't. I was hoping that it would have been only me that would have picked Brooklyn. And I don't like when time Vinny and Devin pick Brooklyn too. Too much people up on the wagon star. We can't deal with it. But me, I look forward to see Brooklyn next year. With a fully fit Ben Simmons in it. Hopefully him doing back surgery should be ready for training camp all out of the way, and hopefully he might get all of the psychiatric help when him need, and him back and playing. So I'm a roll with Brooklyn, see how them what other changes Sean Marks make to the roster,
Mm-hmm.
who them dash with, and who them are going bring in. But the big question mark is still there over Steve Nash.
Yes, sir.
You know? That's the big elephant in the room. It's more about can Brooklyn win in spite of Steve Nash inexperience, so
I wouldn't say that, Cream. Listen, Steve Nash was dealing with a lot, boss. Like,
it was
give him a
I can
chance.
agree,
Give him a chance.
but
If
there's
your boy KD and Kyrie vouch for him, so give him a
yeah,
chance.
I know, and even after this last season, KD said the same thing where you just said that Steve Nash been dealing with a lot, the trades, the injuries, the vaccines, so he never really have a full squad together for any period of time. So we'll see next year. So I'm gonna roll with Brooklyn again. And just like you say about LeBron hearing these things that people say about Steph, Kate
KD
is
here,
also hearing
you know KD
JB.
here. You
Oh
He's
know,
yeah.
already
If anybody is not here, Katie here.
you
he's
know.
already he's already on Twitter, and I'm fire have some tweets already. So me know
Yeah,
said the fire burning in belly, and
yeah.
he's gonna come back ready. So bring it on,
Listen,
man.
I think that I think something crazy is going to happen next season. Whether it be Ben Simmons just come out and say I'm retire. Listen, I just or KD leave and join up forces with LeBron. Like I believe that something crazy is going to happen next season. But right now, I am picking that the Lakers will win the NBA Finals next season. Right? I think LeBron is running out of time. I think he knows it. He doesn't have much longer. If you don't say he's not the best player, the second best player, if you want to say he's top 7 or whatever, he has very limited time there because as we see, the league is getting better, right? And with the nutrition and the technology and the training and everything, everybody's starting to catch up. Everybody can make money now. Everybody can inject all of that money in them body, right? So I think that the Lakers are going to
Except Zion.
win the championship. Hmm?
Except Fatman Zion.
Zion is good. Zion has been cleared. He's been training. The man ready, brother.
You can't
No
tell me
worries.
anything about Zion.
Worries.
Okay.
But
You
so,
know,
and I think from the east, I have to go with Philly, right? I see that they're now sporting Tobias Harris's contract, right?
So
Well,
who will take that?
I'm not. I'm hearing
Okay,
that
see.
there may be a 3-team trade
What
with
what you
with.
guys think about Bradley Beal going to Miami?
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
But what would
Bradley Beal,
Miami give up to get at
they'll
Bradley
give
Beal?
they'll give up Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. I think they will. Like Duncan Robinson probably play 2 minutes in the
In
Eastern
the
Conference Finals.
conference finals. Mm.
Yeah, so like he
On such a
can't
big
defend,
contract.
right? That's one thing with Miami. If you can't defend, you will not touch the court. No matter
So
how
why
much
did
you
they
can.
pay him? Why did they pay
Exactly.
him that?
When them find out say he can't defend.
Mm.
Well, I don't
oh wait,
know.
how great of a defender is Bradley Beal?
Better than Duncan Robinson.
But
True.
if you
High five.
so away Euro and Duncan, you give away two better 3-point shooters.
Yeah, but Duncan didn't play much, so you really give a one. And Bradley Beal obviously is a more dangerous offensive threat
Even
than a
though
Tyler Hero.
Bradley Beal really never play good this season. The Bradley Beal we play last season.
But remember,
Never.
remember he's also on a bad team, Vinny. If you couple him with a Jimmy Butler now and a Bam Adebayo with a Eric Spoelstra training and so, And
Exactly.
Udonis Haslem motivation. Like,
Lakers is trying to get him. I am trying to figure out who you're going to give up again, unless you're going to send back Russell Westbrook down to Washington to get him.
Washington not pick up the contract. Zach
Interesting.
Levine,
There are some interesting trades that are being banter around.
but
out
you
there.
know, what Cream saying, you know, Washington would have really take the contract because, all right,
It's
let's
the
say,
final year.
because it's final year. And then they would have Bradley Beal off the books and then Westbrook off the books.
That's a good one as well. Where Zach Levine heading?
I heard that Zach Levine is heading back to Chicago.
yeah, he's gonna
He's going to
re-sign it.
re-sign.
Resign, yeah.
So Lonzo
Lakers
will
got
signing.
Who?
Lonzo did sign through. Lonzo Ball was signed through with Chicago, no sir?
yeah. Lonzo, Caruso, Demar, you know. But listen, I believe that again. I think there's only a handful of teams that can win championships. Chicago have no chance, right?
I
So it
don't think
depends.
so.
It depends on what you want to be as a player. Like, do you want to be a player that make money and just okay, you're in the conversation and make an all-star team, or do you want to win championships, right? Because right now, Zach Levine is better than Draymond Green, but I bet you Hall of Fame votes, Draymond Green getting a lot more votes than a Zach Levine. Because
Draymond Green gonna make it on first ballot, you know.
Yeah.
that would be crazy if you make it past first ballot. But hey, that's the new NBA. But guys, we'll be back here close after the draft probably when
The
some
draft
more
is what, 2
trades.
weeks?
Yeah.
No, in five days.
5 days. Oh yeah.
Next Thursday, I think.
Wednesday.
Next Thursday.
So
next
after the
Thursday.
draft, after the draft, I know there's track and field time coming up. So probably after that, we'll definitely, get into some more basketball, see some trades that's going on, see some coaching movements. Last thing I see, Mr. Atkinson, after I win the championships, I don't want to go to the Hornets. Decline. I don't want to be in a losing culture. I don't want to build up a team. So he's staying with the Golden State Warriors as an assistant. And that says a lot. That says a lot because
he might forget battle with Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan is an owner will look like him not give up. It's like Dallas Cowboys. It's like you have some owners who always involved in the team and then give problem. It seems that is happening as great as Jordan is as a player. So why is it that they have coach problem? And Jordan has been a part of the draft for various players and stuff like that. Probably means for the step back.
And it's crazy how Jordan cannot identify talent.
I don't think so because great
He got
players,
Melo.
very few great players can be great coaches and because there is something some of the time about great players in terms of how they look at things.
Yeah.
And how they think things are, or how they think things is simple, it's really not so. And most of them can't deal or adapt to that. There's very few great players you see move from a great player to also great GM.
It's something across all sports,
Yes,
because
right.
Even if you look at football, right, you notice that most of the greatest players, they're not the best talkers, and they're also not the best
coaches.
Yeah, you understand. And one of the things, as I say, is that great players, things so easy for them that sometimes even when them are coach lesser players, they don't understand the difficulty. Because for them, it's like they're saying 1 + 1 is 2. How you can't see that it is 2? Yeah, because for them head it's just straightforward.
It's simple.
Yeah. About himself too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is centered around him. But I feel like when I draft some players, this player is not as good as I was. Instead of looking at or how it's gonna be.
Him needs to step back and him need to step back off of the team.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen.
Melo I go rise now under D'Antoni leadership and stewardship.
Boss, them money now with nothing, brother. But a couple games and make a couple nights, brother. Right. All right, gentlemen. Well, tonight is Saturday night. Be careful out there on the road. If you have your woman, your wife, you hug up your woman, you hug up your wife, and just have some fun, right? Tomorrow, I must mention though, tomorrow is indeed Father's Day, and I believe all 4 gentlemen on the stream are fathers. All 4 gentlemen are fathers or soon to be fathers. So, big up to each and everyone. Hey, big up each and every one on it, boss. You know, I know we don't get a lot of credit. You know, we don't get a lot of credit for what we're doing.
we we
You know, we don't get a lot of credit for what we do. Mostly, the mothers get the credit, but continue. Just really and truly continue doing what you are doing, man. Because we are needed. Whether it is said or not, we are definitely needed. In molding our sons and our daughters. So big up on yourself and Vinny. I don't know if you're gonna be available tomorrow.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Cause you did
All
tell
right.
myself to try make myself available. So,
I'm drink some Red Bull or try stay up.
All
Then,
right,
I-
gentlemen. Have a
then
good
have
by
night.
that
some
time,
oats,
man.
some oats and stuff, legend.
Come back, come back by that time, man, Devin, man. Come give it a talk.
You will please, you cannot bring all your kids. You cannot bring all your kids on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, but
All right, then, gentlemen. Have a good night.
I
yeah,
have
man.
a good night.
Producer,
Yes.
big up.